Hello again, I'm back on the gravel pit. This is my third session of the spring. I'm just doing one night, so it's an overnighter. I arrived in the afternoon, I've got my marker float in place, baited up, cast out, had nothing at all during the afternoon, which is what I would expect really. The big tench and bream are pretty much nocturnal, certainly the way that I fish for them. It's now into dusk, and I've baited up again, recast, and I'm now waiting for the darkness to descend and hopefully the fish to move in and start feeding as well. It's a Friday night, so this is my night out. I much prefer this to what people would traditionally do on a Friday night out, although of course you have to have your drink. So got my cup of tea here, cheers. But hopefully I'll get amongst the fish, and I'll be back later with a fish to pose with. That would be great. This is the time of the year when not only do the fish come on the feed, but also the flowers start to come through as well. And I'm interested in British wildflowers. It's also another interest of mine, as well as angling and bird watching and all the other things such as trees that to me go with the wider package of being out here at the water's edge. And in the swim where I've set up, there's a clump just to the left of my shelter of white dead nettle. And there you can see the white flowers there. And the leaves, they look like nettles, but actually they don't sting, because the white dead nettle is a member of the mint family. So it's not a nettle at all. You won't get stung by it. You can handle it and grasp it and squeeze it and play with the leaves. You won't get stung at all. Actually a member of the mint family. But some lovely flowers there, and there's a little cluster just to the side of my shelter, which in a couple of weeks or so should develop nicely and be in full bloom. So that's a white dead nettle. It's now 6 o'clock, and a few minutes ago I caught the tench. It just shows how hard this water is. I've been here since yesterday afternoon. Didn't expect to catch anything in the day really. As I'd said earlier, it's a nocturnal water, certainly the way that I fish. But once dusk came in, obviously that's the time when you will catch fish. I didn't catch anything at all during dusk. Darkness came, nothing. 10 o'clock, 11, 12, into the early hours of the morning, nothing at all. The last time I looked at my phone, the time was just 10 to 1. And I was thinking to myself, I should have caught by now. I didn't, went back to sleep right the way through, and then woken up this morning just before 6 with a screamer on the right rod, which is popped up sweet corn, artificial sweet corn, and it was a nice tench, a good tench. I'm happy to catch that. Very often I find myself fishing for just one fish, and that might be 40 hours sometimes in terms of rods out if I'm doing an overnighter, and even longer if I'm doing 2 nights. It's not everyone's cup of tea to put so many hours in for just maybe one fish. But that's the great thing about angling. It can be what you want it to be for you. If you want to go out on the canal, sunny afternoon with half a pint of maggots and catch gudgeon one after the other, that's great. If you want to sit it out on a specimen water for the big fish that might not turn up, then if that's what you want, then go ahead and do it. And for me, that's what angling's all about, doing your own thing and enjoying it. And I certainly do, even though many people might think I'm mad, particularly doing a Friday night out on a gravel pit with the rats. I had those running around all night. But I'm happy, and that's what angling is all about really, at the end of the day, isn't it? Being contented and being satisfied with our pastime and our hobby that we choose to do. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm back where I started, sitting by the rods at the water's edge. I enjoy my angling, and I also enjoy writing about it as well. And each week I publish an article based on that week's fishing, which you can check out on my angling website, anglingdiary.com, and of course the videos as well, which I get a lot of good positive feedback from, so that's an encouragement. It keeps me going to produce them. Although in all honesty, I enjoy angling so much that making them is not really a hardship at all. In fact, it's a labour of love. It's a pleasure indeed. So if you're out and about yourself in the next week or so, tight lines, and above all, like me, enjoy your fishing.